Design Review, the favorite engineering design show of the people in the universe. I'm here with my friend Sir 3K, and we are going to go through your suggestions that you have sent in to the Marble Machine 3 project. I'm very excited. This was super fun. We did it last Friday, and now with so many suggestions, we're going to do it again. Let's get straight into it. But first, how are you today, Sir 3K?
Simply brilliant. This is a favorite of mine, just going through all the awesome stuff that you, the viewers, have sent in. It's so nice to have this communication with you. Let's see if there's any good suggestions since last week then.
Yep. So, let's first start with AB program switch.
There you got my keyboard. Now you're in control, my friend.
And do we have a chapter soundboard sound?
If we have.
Yes. Let's ask a little thing. Is there a red line going out in the stream, or am I just seeing a red line in our OBS? Can you click that away inside OBS? Sir 3K, just click somewhere. Okay, we're good. We're golden, everyone. AB program switch. This is the solutions that are about making one programming wheel play two pieces of music that we've been talking a lot about. So we start strong with 30-degree revolution steps from Alexandros. This shows how we can use less rotation and still get all the action. So this is actually a very, very good image, Alexandros. I love it.
And we're starting hot and good with design, and also, let's see, yeah, there we go. A nice little super chat just came in there supporting us from Robert James. I wake up dreaming of marble machines. Today Martin will become Doc Ock, creating arms that can play more instruments than humanly possible. Thanks for sharing the joy of invention. Thank you so much, Robert. That means the world to us, that support.
Thank you so much. And it's interesting because I just, for the first time in my life, read the word Doc Ock. So if you go over to the design requirement documents, I don't know what Doc Ock... Oh, now I know why.
Dr. Octopus.
Okay, go over to main. So here are Robert James, the same person who is writing here about like Doc Ock's arm. So I just saw your suggestion in the design requirement before the stream, Robert. So thanks for that. And I have to learn what Doc Ock is. Let's get back to the designs. Cam, muting lever. Okay, so this is also for the AB program switch. And this is exactly how we're thinking about it. To have this is a great sketch by Antoine, and this shows that when you pull it, the blue cable will pull, and when you push it, the red cable will pull. And this is important because cables are not good at pushing, but we want to pull in both directions. So Antoine has it completely right. And Antoine is even putting it into the same Bowden cable, which could be very interesting. Love the sketch. Master switch AB muting feature from David Charlie. I think that for this feature, it's better to restart thinking from the beginning. You put in the design requirement a statement. With this in mind, I think if you design correct, you could achieve the goal without any supplementary. You can take a look. Yeah, so I think what David has fixed here is how to have kind of individual and master switches. And we have to look into the bowing controls. And it's kind of funny. I always joke that Sir 3K has only on-off. Yeah. There's like no dynamics. Either we go for something and then it's a full bowing throttle. Like so... Basically, every decision you make, you break off the throttle and you throw it out of the airplane window.
Oh, so you want me to change something? Well, then let's change it for real, Martin.
I'm like, in the color grade, and the video is a little bit dark, and what I get back is digital white image. Yeah.
And
okay.
I just want to say, from Mandracule here. Hello, I hope you have a great day, everyone. Greets from Switzerland. Now, Mandracule has been brilliant with suggesting stuff in the past, so I just want to give her a little shout out here.
Famous
or him.
Famous for the Mandracule module. So I didn't know you were from Switzerland. They have great mechanical engineers. Okay, Poor A is missing its quick switch to AB. So this is a suggestion from Duker that says that I have to step over two states for the muting. So when we have program A and want to make a quick switch to program AB, we still don't know if we're going to use program AB. So actually have to make, we don't have to show that. I'm just going to write here AB question mark. So this is true. And I'll actually sneak peek that there's a solution on this later in the ideas. Crank brake cables. Ball bearings with springs to hold the crank in place at the positions corresponding to AB. So this is a great suggestion. To make, you know, on the original marble machine, I had this bistable mechanism. I can't show it right now. It doesn't matter. Or
I can show you.
You can. Oh, good. So the levers to the right click into on or off. And this solution, if we go back to the sketch, is about giving us 3 points. So the lever always end up in the correct position. And I like it. So it's a great idea. Something like this should be used, like spring-loaded ball detents, like I did for the Hyatt machine on the Marble Machine X, basically.
Yeah.
You were laughing about something.
I just saw a comment. Then it got removed, so I can't show it.
Okay.
Because something about, okay, people, let's keep it short. Martin doesn't like to read that long.
Because it's not curved, it will half hit on the extreme positions. You should make it an arc concentric with the programming wheel. Interesting, because this was a discussion we had when we did the thing. And the fact is that the diameter is so huge, so the curvature is so little. And I think we calculated the difference to 0.1 millimeter or something like that. So when you check it in CAD, it doesn't matter, because it only moves 20 millimeter, and the programming pin curvature, the wheel is so big, so it doesn't matter. But you're right that there is a difference. From Gusti, let's see, twist to mute, A or B, less parts, easy to manufacture, no troubles with the Bowden cable. So Gusti, okay. So this is an idea for how to do different instrument groups. What is missing in this idea, Gusti, is that we have at least 5, probably 6 individual groups. So your sketch has only 2. So when you start to put in 5 or 6 of these next to each other, you will run out of space quick. And if I see it correctly, and the genius thing with going into the middle to twist them is that everything can be on one axle. So in your design, you would need like 6 different axles, and the pivots would pivot on different parts of the links. You can already see it on the closest one that you're pivoting further back, which means that every link has to have an individual design. So it's actually kind of harder to manufacture, I think, because they're not... One design tenet that I think we should hold to in the Marble Machine 3 process is to have modules that can be repeated, and it's the same part everywhere. And this wouldn't require custom parts, plus the fact that here the levers has to be physically connected at exactly the orange rectangular block point. So with the Bowden cable, we can put the levers anywhere. But still, I think your suggestion would definitely work, but I still think Bowden cable is simpler. So here we have the muting, and this is a video, I think, which is really nice. And they put, if we see, they put the A-B state on both sides. So there was a slide before saying there's no A-B state on a quick state. This is beautifully made in Fusion 360 with, I think, what is it called? Contact sets. I love these animations when you're down, you have this person, who is it from?
Sadly, I don't see it here.
Anyway, Golden Star, Gretzky Hall of Fame.
Brilliant.
Because this person has downloaded the latest CAD from our website, animated something that helps me think. Very, very appreciated. Beautiful. And this looks maybe like it's from the same person. Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the same design. It's brilliant. Inside cam for car handbrake. Lever to engage with to push either to A or B. Inside cam for car handbrake. So where... I don't really understand where on the machine this would sit, and if it's connected to the shaft of the cam or if it's a Bowden cable. Jack Hainsworth.
I mean, this is beauty.
It's a beauty. If the master lever has a larger range of motion than the separate levers, and the spring to return to center, it will not get in the way of the other levers. Yeah, so the point here is that the master lever has to... When I want to individually switch program for the bass or mute the bass, the master lever can't obstruct that. So this is just a great clarification of that. Gear, cable, axle. Okay, so here we come to the thing that a cable can't really push. Perhaps a hydraulic Bowden cable could. And I have lined up for our next live stream, we're going to discuss Bowden cables. And I don't know how a hydraulic Bowden cable work, and I don't know how expensive it is. So this idea would perhaps work with a hydraulic cable, but I wouldn't have it work with a metal cable inside a Bowden cable, because on a bike brake, the thing that makes the cable return is like a spring that pulls the cable. So you should always pull a cable and not push with it.
And we have from Bockom, good day gents, nothing like a cup of coffee and Wintergatan between struggling miserably with my projects. We hear you. We can all
relate.
Yeah, we can all sit together in this, right? We can support each other in the misery.
Bockom, I can relate. Good luck. I think the worst part of struggling is when I feel that I don't really know what I'm doing or if it's good. So my only advice to you is to dare to try to take different perspectives. I've been too slow on that in my projects, but dare to see the truth from the outside. Because I think struggling when we feel that we are working on something that we believe in is one way, but struggling on something that we have lost hope in, that's hard. So I hope you find your Northern Star in your project.
But know that we're all in this together.
Love it.
We're here for you as well.
Yes, thanks for being here with us. So Jacob has sent, this is also with the AB switch. Based on the flat face makes unmuted state more stable image in stream 23. You correctly said that design would fall in place, but this design would not make it fall. Flat faces makes unmuted state more stable. Constant radius from rotation axis to add stability to contact surface. This is cool. So the idea here with Jacob, and I love this. So Jacob is iterating. Maybe maybe Jacob suggested this design in the first place, but instead of having a thin tip, it's just a broader tip, but the tip has still a radius, so that there's no falling thing. It's a nice suggestion to make a camshaft. But it just looks more solid basically than a pointed tip of the cam. So super cool iteration. 2 independent shafts that can shift any of the 4 positions with one action using a car stick shifter. James Heald. 2 pivots over 1 to me just feels like more parts. it's cool, but I don't really understand. I don't really understand how it would work. It's probably because I don't know the car shift thing. And I think if I think of a gearbox of a car, you have to kind of think about what you put in. And I think to have one lever to just go back and forward and rotate 2 different ways, I think it's so easy. Program A towards me, mute, middle, program B all the way forward. I can go immediately from B to A. I can go immediately from A to middle. I can go immediately from B to middle. It just feels more straightforward. A bigger radius enables different states to be closer. This is a super good point here that has been made. So what I mean with closer here is that you can see the blue and the green line, the angle is less, which means that on the right side, we need less rotation, we need less travel of the Bowden cable. Awesome illustration. Drop ball to mute, springs to center lever. Yeah, so this is the same that we need the tri-stable position, and it's spring-loaded ball that clicks in place. And we're using 4 steps, and this user have correctly put AB question mark. And if we go to my iPad, a little quick, yeah, you can see Gretzky in the suggestion. So AB is a big question mark. I honestly do not think that we're gonna allow the AB state. And this is actually, let's go back to the sketchpad a little quick. This is what we call a known unknown. And this is the topic of the next stream. This is a known unknown that we have to deal with. AB state. If someone doesn't know what it is, let me make a quick demo on the keyboard. So I showed several times before.
Let's see.
Let's see if we have it. There we have it. I can fix it.
All these setups. We are ambitious here.
So I showed several times that we have program A is minor and program B is major. And the AB state would allow one channel to play both at the same time. So in this particular song, it would be the Jimi Hendrix chord. C minor 7. Now, how do you play it on guitar? You play it actually like this. That's more Jimi Hendrix. Does it sound like Jimi Hendrix?
Oh yeah.
But the only reason, so actually let's make a decision right now. I want to skip the AB state actually, because the only reason to have an AB state would be if the registrators are slower than the ball drop, which I don't think they are. That would allow one channel to play faster. So it has with note repeatability to do. But mixing the 2 programmings, like here, to play both at the same time, I just don't think I will ever need that tool, because we're still limited by how often the marble can drop. So it's not like we automatically can just play twice as fast all of a sudden just because we input. Rather, it can be really, really tricky because it can mean a lot of half hits. So I'm just going to make a decision right now. Let's go to the design requirement document and let's forever forget about the AB state, or for now anyway.
I just want to read something nice here from Katarina Osvaldova. The feeling of community I get from this stream compares to nothing. Together with the lovely spring weather, it almost makes me forget I have a midterm later today.
Wow, thank you, Katarina, and good luck on your midterm.
Yeah, we're rooting for you.
Definitely.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks for the great vibes. It's I'm touched. I'm so touched, like by people going into the documents and sharing their vast knowledge. And now when we're working on a digital model, we can really work together. So this is the design requirements document, and I've been educated by this wonderful community on how to write one. And I do have, I think it's high time to include what we're talking about here. So is this program here, program switch? But in chapter 5, it's so high level, so I'm not going to write it here. But I'm going to make a design requirement under 6 here. Kick drum requirements. Oh, here we have it.
Rafael Rudeni Stark. The thing is, would it be useful or one more thing to go wrong?
Super good comment, Rafael. It's exactly what this is actually like. The machine is going to be complicated enough. The program switching AB already requires a full-size vibraphone to have 174 registrators or something like that. And I think just that we've taken enough on our plate. We have to kill some darlings. So I'm going to now make this a little more official, this design requirement right here. So I'm going to make a headline. Let's see. Program AB switch. There must be 3 program states. And I'm going to say state 1, which is going to be pulled towards me.
Einhorst, hashtag team rethink AB.
State 1, playing program A. AB is a darling that we should collectively kill from this very moment.
Oof.
Any more AB ideas?
Turn dark.
So let's see here. Playing program A, state 2, muted, off. State 3, playing program B. Doesn't that sound simple?
I'll say from Sandor Juhash. I think AB would be a nice feature, but it could be easily added later with minimal changes, so no need to push it now.
Beautiful gears in your profile picture, Sander. I see them. Tell us why. Tell us how you would use the feature, because as far as I know, it's impossible. The AB feature is currently impossible. Or rather, it's because the marble gates can't handle it. They're too slow for the added speed. But if I missed something with it, please tell us like how you would like to use it.
Adrian Shaw is more straightforward here. Playing A, B seems pointless. You're only considering it because it's easy to implement.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So now we have actually an official. In the official design requirements, there is no mention of AB, which means we should try to go for things that have been unsolved. Let's go back to the design suggestions.
But first, life is good because look who just joined in here. Slice of Sparta. We're reviewing designs. We're preying on noise. Martin is the man. H3K brings the joy. Love the progress so far. Keep it up. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you as well, Sparta, for always bringing it with your wonderful support. Thank you so much.
Okay, I have this one. Here we go. I have to. Ooh, can you make it larger? This dark red combo only. Okay, the grids hold everything in place.
Sadly, I can't enlarge it for you, my friend.
Dark red comb touching only red prog A. A-rods. Okay, so now I see your suggestion by Rinat. Cool idea. However, the genius of the Marble Machine X design was that this link, all these red and green ones, were only resting because of gravity, which means that it can be pushed up by the action. So if the levers are resting inside the grid, because it looks like you're pushing them down, and then they can't in the edge cases, they can't, basically when you unmute exactly when there's a the edge case, when you unmute exactly when a programming pin has activated a thing, it will get stuck, I think, in your design, because it can't swivel because you're pushing it down with the grids. So I think and I think also it's more difficult to make this ups and down. Plus, when we want 5 instrument groups, there is no space between the instrument groups. We need to access it from the middle. And for your grids to keep together, it needs the side walls. And that space does not exist. I think actually your solution... If you remove the things on top and on the side, and if you only pushed from below with your grid idea, slide up and down, this solution would actually work equally well as the camshaft. But I think it's harder to make one lever movement have 3 states, because the rotation gives us the 3 states, because otherwise I would have to pull the lever, one thing has to come down, and then another thing has to slide up. So far I think the camshaft is easier, but I think it would work if we remove the ceiling. Muting channels AB combined with one input, AB, separate with 2 inputs. Not so here's AB still in, but it was in when you sent the suggestion, so I understand that. So there's 2 levers for AB. I think the one we have is simpler. Front view of master lever. Put the bars inside of the levers. Side view of other levers. Okay, this is a suggestion to make the master lever a little bit more beautiful. And yeah, I like this. I like this idea. Do you understand it, Hannes? I can sketch it. Okay. Or maybe you understand it.
I understand it.
Okay, I'll sketch it for the viewers.
Okay. Do a quick one.
5 levers. These are the instrument levers and the master lever. And instead of having these arms like this, the suggestion is to make the arms in here.
Yep.
And that would look more magic, because it would be, okay, there's only 6 lever, but the last one is moving all of them. I love it.
Cool.
Only thing is that the master lever has to be chunky, because it's gonna take a lot of turn. Let's see the next design. Woo. Good idea. Woohoo! A gearbox.
Oh wow.
A shift plate. Bass kick. This is basically exactly what we're gonna build. However, the steps will be the extra. This when from playing the machines, I don't have time to do this, because to think forward and then to the side, it's too many operations. Only forward. That's the way to go. But beautiful sketch. Bowden muting systems. Alexandros. Only A, both A plus B, both mute, only B. So I see what you did here. but both A and B are gone. So we don't need the solution. This one we saw already, probably suggested in 2 categories. Pull on both sides. This is exactly how I'm planning to do this. Many state camshaft, unmuted, unmuted. So too many options. Beautiful sketches again. Big lever. And here's also the issue with this system is without Bowden cables is that you can't do it for 5 individual instrument groups. It looks great for 1, but for 5 individual is. So why use Bowden cable? All it does is move lever location. Cable is a great tool for marble gates, but when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Yeah, so your lever, the Bowden cables can enter in the middle of the shaft. So imagine you have one instrument group on the first 5 centimeters and another on the next 5 centimeters. The Bowden cables enters in the middle like this and requires no sideways thing. So your lever on the side, the way I did it on the original machine, I did a pipe-in-pipe muting system, which was super complicated. So I had 5 levers around the same axle, and I don't want to redo that for this machine. So it's true for one instrument, but how would you do it? How would you do it for 5 groups? I think your argument would be better if you said to use a cam link. So if by having a link that just goes on one side of the cam, you can not rotate it more than 180 degrees, hardly 180. So just a stiff mechanical link, and that could be flared out to different levers on another point like this. So we can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levers on these flarings things. And then you can access different instrument groups. I do like the expression, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
That's brilliant.
I'm in favor of the Bowden cable still though.
Next design.
Spring detents on these levers. Yes, that's what we should do. Hard stops on this lever. So why is it hard stops on the 4th lever? All. Move the all lever to where you wish. Then pull the lever to its right to squeeze the upper and lower. Okay, 2 actions instead of 1. I do not have time when I play the music. Beautiful sketch though. 2 registrators to 1 Bowden cable. We looked at this one actually by Gusti.
I think this is a video, right? Yeah.
So this is perfect. This is the spring-loaded detent idea, and extra points to Mike Perry, I've engineered Gretzky in the chat. Mike Perry, extra points for only including 3 states because we do not have the 4th state anymore. Beautiful animation. I love when you send short animations. Those are the favorite. Play A, mute both. Play B, play both. Okay, beautiful sketch with the yellow, but we have removed the play both state. Mute both, same here. Love the sketches. And this one we saw, this is the MC throttle and the wheel. Spring tension bar guided by a housing. Channel on each lever with crenellations for indexing it. Huh. So this puts the indexing a little bit further out, which I kind of like. Sorry for the long text. Here's a bonus condor. Oh, wow, with sound. I was thinking that mute all instruments at the same time is not worthy by using the individual levers through a master lever. You would need to rise and lower the shaft that support the levers of the registrators for 2 important reasons. First, by triggering the master lever, you can mute all instruments at the same time, but you cannot return to the previous configuration. This is true. So what the designer means here is that if we have a special setting like AABB and I mute all. Wait, mute all. which is also interesting. From AABB wouldn't require two movements. First, no, that will be chick. Okay, sorry, nothing. This is by rising or lowering the shaft, you can return to the same. I'm not sure I'm understanding this idea. Spring tension bar, guided by a housing. Do you understand?
No, sadly.
It will be always all instruments on mute, all in channel 1, all in channel 2, and in by rising or lowering the shaft, you can return to the same configuration of channels per instrument before muting and not to have reset all instruments individually every time you use it. In mechanical terms, I think it's more simple to lower and rise the shaft than a complex master lever. Now I know what's intended. Let me sketch what this suggestion is, so everyone, because I now I know what you mean. So we all know what this is, and we all know what this is. This is our cams, and very simply, mute all is just moving this whole thing straight down. It's not a rotational thing. And it's actually a genius point that has been made here, that if we do that, the rotation of this will stay intact. However, I do not think this is worth to implement it, because moving a 1.5 meter long thing, even 2 centimeters down, requires a lot of infrastructure here. And a spring to make it return to the exact same place and everything. Very, very doable, but I think we have to think about what function it gives us. And I think the idea to have to so what would it give us? It would give us like I put like the bass on. I have the bass and the snare drum on. I have everything else off. This makes it possible for me to mute everything and then put the bass and the snare drum on again.
Memeplex says something like this here. By using a master lever, you put all channels in mute after you have to put each instrument in a new state individually.
Yeah, this is exactly the issue that the designer has solved here by moving. So I should make these sketches into a better. Let me try something right here. So if I do this, and then here I can actually move this.
Oh,
cool, huh?
Wow!
I discovered there's layers in this app. There's layers to reality. So mute all would be done like this. I mean, it's a cool. The cool thing about it is, I've been thinking about something. The mute all lever will require a lot of force because it needs to stretch all the Bowden cables, which is kind of like 5 times 5, 10. And by doing this instead, you don't do that. You're just flexing the Bowden cables. Let's marinate on this a little bit.
Next design.
So how would I make the shaft stay down? That's just something. Yeah, let's first, before we leave this one, because this is an important question, let's first go to the design requirement and make Mute all instrument levers. Design. Drop camshaft down or switch all channels. So anything that is not design agnostic, these are design note. I'm going to make everyone crazy in the design requirement by doing design comments in the document. They are to be taken out later. So everything in italic and in parentheses is not part of the design requirements. So thanks for this suggestion. It really made me think. Love it.
I don't know what this means, but it sounds cool.
Why not a hydraulic manifold under the arm? Yeah, that's probably solving this. So cool. Let's go to the next. It's a spring-loaded bar there. Okay, yeah, this is... And thank you so much for the condor. Can we get the sound? Next design.
Pause with lowering the shaft and all mute as a cam state from Milo Pilo.
Yeah, so lowering the shaft. Yeah, okay. Pause with lowering the shaft and then it would go up again. Yeah. I still have something in my stomach about moving that whole shaft around. It's like, ooh. Because all the Bowden cables would need to move. It's a whole huge platform thing. And in music, you want things to be... I'm going to show you how much time... Are you ready? I'm going to show you how much time you have. That much time.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Whoa.
Next design.
Yeah, you're the one in control, my
I
friend.
was waiting for you all the time. Sorry, everyone. I was waiting for that guy over there. But it was actually me. The shape T rotation of the red lift, different connectors based on angle of rod. Use D10 to give feedback on rotation. Yep. To determine the muted state of what is playing, use a machine rod that is shaped such that its rotation determines whether a B is muted. Totally agree. We can manufacture the same thing and put them in alternate pattern. Great suggestion. Drivetrain, everyone. My favorite topic. It's actually, I don't know. I just said that. I don't know why I said that. Rhythm programming wheel belt mainframe with this configuration. Plus for using a whiteboard.
Love that. And I also love the message at the bottom.
Oh, from Francesco. With this configuration, if the belt breaks, it will not be changeable. Being a loop. Oh yeah, it's a metal beam. We remove that metal beam. The belt lowers the weight. That should keep the wheel in its place. Ooh, this is true. The belt is lifting the wheel. I didn't think of that. This shouldn't be a problem, but I just wanted to point it out. Good one, Francesco. I didn't think of that. The belt is actually trying to lift the wheel out of the bike fork. Good point. It's recorded in here forever and ever. Thank you for that. Roll-off speed hub on MMX3. So I've seen several from Magnus Sørensen. I've seen several suggestions to use like these off-the-shelf gearboxes. And what I don't like with these ideas, I don't like to drive a huge wheel from the center axle because the leverage that is needed is monstrous. So if you have a small gearbox that has to drive a huge wheel from the middle, I just don't think it's made for that. And I don't think it has... The position will be as accurate. So a little slack in the little gear in there will result at a lot of movement on the outer perimeter of the circle. That's why I tend towards using the large gears to drive these big wheels from the outside, or the timing belt is the same thing. But it sounds cool. The roll-off speed hub is an epicyclic internal hub gear for bicycles. And also, we do not need to change gear. We only want one gear of the wheel. My thing is not working anymore.
Is it not working anymore?
No.
Give me a second then. Let's see.
Yeah, it's working. No.
Wait. Don't click around.
Okay, sorry.
Stop with the clicking. No. Stop with your clicking.
Yeah, but
Please, my friend. Now we can click forward once.
Instrument
And
placement.
before you go, further into that. I just see in the chat today, I see a lot of new people who are commenting, which tells me that they're perhaps new viewers that are tuning in. And you know what? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you get all notifications about these streams. And also like this video. It helps us a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful. On this channel, we're doing the design work. On our main channel, we're doing weekly summary studies between 8 and 9 minutes long. Vibraphone. So here we come to the fun part, instrument placement. Yeah?
Yeah.
Vibraphone in a circular pattern, planetary gears, central shaft, drums, programming drum bass. So the circular idea, Archimedes screw for marble lift by Federica. The circular idea is very popular. And honestly, I'm so happy to see all these sketches because right now, I have no idea on how to build this machine. Right now, I don't even think I can build this machine because I realized that the footprint is a big problem. It's really fun to see outside the box ideas. What's this? Side view. Oh yeah, this is a very simple but genius idea to put the marble gates under the vibraphone for the drums. From A. Warner. It's a great sketch, and I heard the idea before. So to avoid mid-air collisions, we could do this. I think the machine would be quite high, but it's a good way to get more room.
Oh wow, here we go.
Mega PRR has made the most epic comparison between modular design and all-in-one design, and this is exactly where my head is, so I love to see some input on this. And there's a lot of text, but I think there's a lot of work being thought behind here. So let's start. Modular design versus all-in-one design. On the modular side, no sound bleed over, high instrument visibility, easier to make. Think MIDI virtual instrument plugins, but real. And then we have a little graph. Thank you. Multiple modules makes it a lot harder to fail, as it stops being an all or nothing project. If a module doesn't work, at worst, all you've lost is the time effort towards it, as you don't need to throw out all the others. So to the left, you can see the different modules being finished. Project is also future-proof. Instead of touring same thing every time, you can switch things up. Create new ones between tours or upgrade old ones you're less happy with. So at blue line, oh no, big vibe module fail. Back to drawing board is not so bad. And if you want to stop, you still have all the ones that work to continue making music. It's super interesting to hear your thoughts about this. So let's look at the all-in-one design to the right. Space is limited, more confusing to look at. It sounds like Mega PR is very biased towards the modular design. I love it. Novel and visually interesting, but unchanging from tour to tour. If successful, you get to preserve DNA and get satisfaction of getting back at a machine that won boxing match twice. Worth it?
Question mark.
If Marvel Machine 3 is scrapped, consider a fresh start with a modular design. It's a radical idea, but maybe a good music tinkering balance. And let's look here at the last graph. I just big love for this work you put in, Mega PRR. MM3 finished. Single machine is cool, but risky. It's an all or nothing deal, as we saw with MMX. Stressed Martin at the bottom there. And then we go up, and then we go up, and then we go down. Stressed Martin again. That was me last autumn. I could tell that was that was me last autumn. And trying again, burnout or give up. Brilliant. So brilliant work, Mega PRR. This is actually like on point for upcoming live streams. Because this right now, I don't feel I have a machine I want to build, and it's because I'm lost between these two main ideas. The one to the Ralph. Oh, Ralph is here. So Ralph, I love your sketches, and you made me think a lot about the Kraftwerk, the band Kraftwerk. I get a band Kraftwerk feel from your sketch, Ralph. Love to see you here live. I love your sketch, and it's also given me a little bit of the machine a little bit of an identity crisis, because form from function would go for the modular design instead of the all-in-one design. Making smaller modules makes marble handling easier because of less marbles from Ralph. Yes, definitely agree. And yeah, this is going to be the big battlefield in the upcoming week, because this is the only thing I'm thinking of right now, this super high-level decision. Is it still fun? Is it still a marble machine? Or have we pivoted into a completely new project? So love to get all your thoughts about this. Next design. So this is a circular design again. The vibra plates are a bit too far on this image. Yeah, so this is the circular pattern, but you divide them out so you don't have any mid-air collisions. Illustration by Ed E171. Almost vertical base, person playing the bass. Yeah, so the circular design is so popular.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of traction out there.
Yeah, out there. Drop point, flight path, capture point. Rotate the bars 45 degrees along the axis. Resonators should not interfere and will not have mid-air collisions. Marbles can route to the rear of the machine. Only downside I can see slightly wider separation of bars, but you can keep the normal layout for manual play. Drop point is green. Flight path. So it's angled to the side. Tricky. How the vibrato shaft that goes through all the resonators is one straight shaft. How do we build the vibrato shaft? That's the trickiest thing with this design. Here is, I think, from Gonzonator, right?
This is Gonzonator.
Power and programming module, control panel, bass, drums, vibraphone, cycle power module or seat. The worst thing is that Gonzo is right here. Cycling the tempo would be one of the easiest way to feed the tempo perfectly. Sometimes at the gym, I do like this cross trainer in time with the music. I try to put the one handle on the snare drum. And I think actually this would work, but it's too much circus. Exchangeable vibraphone section, including note plate and resonator pipes. And we have a comment from Warlion. Wintergatan with a modular design is gonna remind me big of any music setups. Smiley face. All we need are the lasers. Yeah, the modular design it's another thing. It might be less interesting. It might be better music and definitely better sound. The modular design allows us to separate the drums away from the vibraphone, which will be wonderful.
Martin, here's a beautiful comment for you.
Svenska Discgolfförbundet. Wow. So this is cool. So Swedish Disc Golf Society sends some strange to find the best solutions from the entire Swedish disc golf community. I competed at national level in par SM once for Slotskogen Disc Golf Club, and I was eaten like the goat in Jurassic Park by these players. I think I had a single match against someone who took European Championship silver, and it's super fun. Disc golf is just the best sport of all, so super fun to see you here.
So nice.
Swedish Disc Golf Society. Exchangeable vibraphone section. My mental game in the disc golf was not good. I could do good on practice, and if I did well in a competition round, I just got locked up after half the round and threw the disc into the forest. Okay, so this is a Mandracule module, exchangeable vibraphone section, including note plates and resonator pipes. Gets dropped in, replaced with every song, gets prepared as programming wheels are prepared to, with simple sliding mechanism. Clearance to other components when being exchanged need to be checked. Just a big box by handing. This is a super good idea. This is what we call the Mandracule module. Let me hang on. I'm going to find Not yet, but I am going to find our decision matrix. Some of you might have seen it. Let me... So it's, of course, in here. So here we go. Your solution are all these. See if I can get it a little bit bigger. Yeah, like that. So this solution is referring to all these Mandracule module things here. And they're not circular. And when we did this, I tried to make my biased solutions win. But the thing you suggested got a lot of points in the test. I'm gonna drag it over so we can see the total. So there was a quite much more of a close call than I thought. So judging from the decision matrix that we used, if we go back to the idea, your idea is really strong. And if we go for an all-in machine, I think we have to use this idea. The Mandracule module and Henning had the same idea independently from Mandracule. So it just hurts me to think about it. And this is where I think the whole project is pivoting right now. Like, I want a music instrument that can play. I want to make a real vibraphone with full musical expressivity. But I think I've realized that I can't have an all-in-one solution with that design requirement. So if I decide, no, we want to beat the old machine, we want to make the classic look, then this is going to be the solution.
Chat reminding me here.
Oh, H3K, we are in part 2 of the live. Thank you. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's take the next design. I'm gonna keep on going here. Cool circular vibraphone. What's this? Marble gate. Oh yeah, it's a funnel in front so you catch them right away.
Ah.
So maybe let me sketch on this a little bit. So I've excluded this idea from my head. And the reason I've excluded it is because I thought that it's going to be visually too annoying. I thought about it like this, and I thought that the funnels would be like this. But let's say, because we know that marbles doesn't bounce really well on vibraphone. So if we angle them a lot, and if they only bounce like this, and then here it can bounce a lot on the drum. The little catchers, represented by blue, maybe doesn't need to be that high. So here you still have good visibility. So here is an eye. The eye, if I draw a straight line from the eye, you can see the bounce. You can see the bounce. You can see the bounce. And if we make Sauron's tower here.
Or thank.
And we'll put a little Frodo here.
There we have it.
Love it. Next design. Boo Champ, Bebo Champ. What about making only the drum loop machine separate? That way the soul of the vibraphone play can be focused on first. If the loop fails, you can have a real drummer take over. That's not a bad idea. So here is a rotating stage for visual impact wherever you're seated at the arena. This is a beautiful model. We featured this in the thumbnail because I love this model. It's so well put together as well.
Just the visual impact of this. I mean, it looks so cool. I don't know how it would work in reality, but the look of it is like, oh. I really like how it looks.
Yeah, so when you see this, you're like, well, you do that, but there's no functionality in this model yet, so it's more form than function. But look at this, it's beautiful.
Mike Perry teaching me here in chat as well. Of course, it's Baradur. Thank you so much.
We got our Luther lore wrong. So thanks for sending these beautiful, very inspirational models. Let's see, what is this? Height adjustable. Input queue built into component. Bowden cables allow these to be anywhere. Angle adjustable for reliability testing. Ball capture built into component. It's kind of the same idea as we had before with catching the marble right where the instruments are. Input variant from above. The base can be the flywheel. I think Gonzonator is referring to this. I have to run around like a squirrel, then I can power it like a squirrel wheel, then it can just run. Get some cardio in on the concert itself. Fun to see you here, Gonzo. Shoof, I'm engineer. Marble divider, marble lift, programming wheel, vibraphone, funnel. So a lot of people love the vertical programming wheel, but this means that we will read the program on different heights, and it just introduces like a whole new... I would say these vertical programming wheels are kind of out of the questions, because all the components would want to fall down alongside it. I just haven't thought about how to make it. But beautiful sketch. Vibraphone, frame, marimba. Have the ability to use the same resonator pin but change the instrument from vibraphone to marimba. No, I don't like sound of marimbas. It's the Lion King. No, it's the Little Mermaid. So I'm only in it for the vibraphone. I don't like marimba or xylophone sound at all. So this is... thank you for the suggestion, though. Drum, bass, keyboard.
Vertical again, right?
Yes, it's a vertical programming wheel. I think it's too difficult. I would like to see that with more like granular sketch, so we can see more about how it would work. I don't see it working, but maybe I'm just stuck in my old ways. Vibraphone placement to avoid mid-air collisions while keeping full range vibraphones. Extra note slots for note repetitions. Yeah, so the thing here is that you have collisions everywhere in this sketch, because I want to use 40 millimeter marbles. So let's just take the first white key up to the left would collide with the first gray key next to it. So the marbles are bigger than your center to center distance here. But as I said in one of the live streams, I don't think this is a problem, because we will know exactly what note interval has a collision. So for example, black key to white key, like this, can never... that can collide. White key to black key can't. And if you need to play this in the exact rhythm where a collision is... So, we have perfect control over where the marble is, because we have perfect musical timing, hopefully, which means that we will figure out, and this is maybe something we can do in physics testing, we will figure out the exact timing interval when a collision can happen. And basically, we can make a list in what BPMs we can't do a certain note repetition. We can know in theory exactly how to avoid these collisions. So I think the collisions are kind of a non-issue, but it's a known issue, and we have to deal with it. Quick tip for Procreate: turn on palm reaction on the iPad and rest your hand how mycket you will on the skärm. Turn on palm rejection on the iPad. Linus T coming in with the pro tips, because the stupid thing always switch to switch to eraser for me, and I can't make good sketches. So Linus, I have to implement this right away. Palm rejection. How do I do that then?
Is that a main setting on the iPad or is it in Procreate?
Can you Google that, Sir 3K?
Of course I can,
Yeah,
my friend, and you
and
can...
I'll go on with the review. Östen is suggesting a Beatles bass. This is exactly the same bass as we had on the first machine. I do love the look on that, and it's more narrow, as you say. So we need a sound note here, Sir 3K. Link from Progwheel to Marblegate. Thank you. I can't live without those. Let's see. New chapter. Hello. It's my idea to simplify Registrator. One that we have already started being so complicated. This one is easy to modify and has small footprint. Every part is independently mounted on shaft. Gravity help to back, red lever to main position. Muting is possible by rotating second shaft, which block lever in standard position. Manual lever as the red one is independent and can be run in any time. About program switch to second song, red lever can be shifted along the shaft with some extra handler. Greetings from Chris Schutko. Manual lever independent. So the programming pin is coming. Ooh, this is interesting. What is the green lever doing? Oh, that's a manual lever. If I want to play manually. I think I'm not going to play the marbles manually on... So this actually reminds me that it's an important design requirement to if we should be able to play the marbles manual or not.
Chat said you missed one suggestion from the organ guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's not in the slide.
Okay.
We have to check that later. So I think, Chris, that your suggestion falls apart because you're sliding the red thing along the axis, and that will be half hits and stuff like that. So the way we're now switching between program A and B is the only way I think that would work. But when I see your image, I hoped it would work. I don't think it would work to switch between the programs. Let's check the next sketch. 1 Bowden cable enters, 2 leave. Ratchet in input allowed to flex out. As the input is pulled, the cog spins 90 degrees. The lugs on the cog pull on alternating outputs every cycle. As the input is released, it is allowed to flex outwards to slip past. This is probably smart, but it looks like much more parts and much more complicated parts than just doing the MC throttle solution. Loop drum beaters and a little chapter marker, please, from Sergey. Thank you.
I'm still here.
Alessio Biancone. Orange, recoil spring container. Blue, programming drum. Gray, actuator. Exploded view of actuator and spring container. It should be mounted on a fixed axis. Actuator gets rotated by drum. Actuator power can be programmed into the drum positioning gear teeth before the needed beat. Ah. And cannot move the actuator. Okay, I'm getting this idea. And I actually have a new idea regarding that. So we're gonna take a detour here, and I want to sketch for everyone in the.
Do you want to try
Watching this
to
video.
add the rest palm thing? Let's see if we can fix that really quick.
Okay.
In your iPad home settings, the system settings.
Can you bring up the comment again, or is it gone?
I can see if I can find it.
So home. So let's not share the iPad right now. Home. Okay. So we're fixing so I can rest my palm. This is was from Linus, and it's been super annoying that I can't rest my palm on it.
Scroll down on your apps until you find Procreate.
Where do I start?
Yeah, there should be a Procreate somewhere.
Okay. Trying to go slow here. So this would allow me to rest my palm. Procreate, yes.
And then there should be some palm support fine mode or something.
Palm support TM level. That must be it. Disable palm support. I had checked. Palm support fine mode. Palm support standard. Okay.
Fine mode, I think.
Fine. No, standard, I think.
Standard, okay. Try it that way.
Let's try.
I will switch over now.
Oh, yeah, you can switch over. So now I'm resting my palm on the sketch pad and nothing is changing. Oh, this was the best tip ever.
Thank you, Linus T.
Maybe I can show it without pulling out the cable. I can now have my palm smudging the surface and still draw.
Oh, yes. Glory.
Thank you so much for that tip. Oh, changed my life. And perfect now when we're also going to sketch for this thing. So,
and also, just quickly, another little ding, ding, ding there. From Jimi Crosby.
Wonderful. A musician.
Yes.
Good luck with the guitar playing.
Yeah, thank you for your wonderful support. This means the world to us.
Or is it the bass guitar, maybe?
It's a cyber bass.
Go back to the last suggestion so I get everyone on board here. Because I think this is riveting. Because this has never been done, as far as I know, in the history of mechanical music. And this is another technique that I'm not thinking about implementing. But Alessio Biancone have given me a new way of doing it. I think I have an even better way that I figured out yesterday. So let's go to the sketchpad and let's figure this out. So this is the old problem about the spring-loaded beaters. So here's the programming loop. And here we have the programs coming down like this. And here's the pivot. And here's the reader. And here is the drumstick. And of course, there's a spring here. So, you know what? Let me try to add the pivot in a second layer so I can rotate it. Wouldn't that be something?
We got even more iPad Procreate tips here. Something you could think about.
Make sure to turn off Apple Pencil double tap so you don't switch to eraser mode on accident. Oh, that was my other. So maybe you can research where I do that.
Of course I can.
Oh, no, this went wrong. So as you know, this thing, can I rotate it? Rotates like this, kind of. Tick, 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 tick. And the
Yep, I have it now.
Okay, I'll take it later.
Yep.
Because if otherwise it's hard for the viewer to follow if I'm interrupting. No. I'm in the wrong place. This is not for this. This idea is for using... This was actually from idea from paper roll. When we were talking about paper rolls, so here's a paper roll with holes, and it doesn't have a lot of force. You don't want to use a lot of force. Or the programming drum, it can be used for as well. And we talked about preloading this orange drum thing. So let's just make the drum here. Here's the drum. So how do we preload? I'm going to make a red drum beater here, which has been preloaded with a spring force. And here it has been locked into some kind of latch here. So you can pull out this latch, pull out latch equals boom. It plays. And the problem was how to make this preload, but not make the preload exactly when the stick is going down orange to make a boom. Boom. And in Alessandro's idea, that is made by introducing gears here on the wheel, if I understand it correctly. So first you have a pin, and then you have a gear. So you put the gear exactly after the pin, which means that the pin is probably here, which means that the thing is going up, gets released, and then it's returned, preloaded again. But my idea, it's a little hard to explain this. I hope you can follow. Is to have
no palm rest on my keyboard.
Yeah. So look at this. What do we have in a programming wheel that happens once per every note? We have a programming pin. So my idea, prog pin. My idea is to read here, and then use the pin with another pivot to recharge here afterwards. Reload here. Which means that, let me take like some new color purple. This reading here would pull out the latch. And this reading here would reload the thing. My sketch sucks hard, but the solution doesn't suck. I hope I made myself clear. Did I?
Yeah. You explained this to me prior, but I think the audience will get it. Let's see what chat says.
Let me make a custom, because I think this is...
Okay, another one.
I think this is important. This has never been done, what I know, in history of music. So, red programming pin is the read the music program. Tick, 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 tick. This goes to latch that's pulled this way. Release, which means that the stick, sorry, I run out of space all the time. Why do I run out of space? The stick makes a boom. Afterwards, the same programming pin becomes orange, and it's red again. So we create another mechanical movement, and this is reload, which means that the stick goes up in tension again. Because the thing is that we only want the reload to happen when the release is not playing, and this was just make always the same rhythm. Play and reload. Play and reload. Play, reload, play, reload. And this would make it possible to have spring-powered drums reloaded by the same pin that is actually playing the note. I think it's pretty cool and quite a fun tangent for a solution that we're not even planning on using. Let's go to the next design, everyone. So thanks for this, Alessio. It's brilliant. I think my version of your same idea is slightly simpler. And I love the coiled spring though. That's a beauty. Oh, Annie music. Our favorites.
This we already saw.
This we saw. June Brown. Drum causes shaft to rotate. Spring stores rotational energy because of positive stop. Drive side of shaft release and causes whole arm to rotate back the other way. Arm over rotates. And boom stick hits drum. Arm returns to rest position. Okay, so it over rotates. Angle to taste. Flexible grip. Boomstick. I love the term boomstick.
Boomstick. This is my boomstick.
It looks greater. Arm returns to at rest position via spring and positive stop combo knot. So I'm wondering what the difference is here between a normal spring. Oh, that's a pivot. Robert Towel. So the drums aren't going to be played via marbles. The idea is to have the loop drum. Let's go to CAD so I can show that. Robert, the drums are played both by this lower wheel in a loop that goes with 16 beats and by marbles from the big wheel that goes 64 beats. So basically what you can do in this design anyway is that you can do a loop of the drum, but then you can add marbles. That fill in there was the marbles.
Yeah.
So both is the answer. Next design. Silicone rubber grip for a more natural hit. That's a little cool to mimic a human hand. Still snug in the middle. Could possibly be tightened more in the middle via a large set screw. Bonus, sticks are easily swappable, replaceable. Interesting. They will give a more human touch and sound, perhaps. It's a nice one. Only one spring for both directions. So this is the same idea as Alessandro had, with the coiled spring here. Alessio. Yes, Alessio Biancone. To have torsion spring or a coil spring instead of two extension springs. It's interesting. Problems with current drum beaters and the desire to play dynamics by Peter O'Neill. Sounds like a little essay. I love it. When only partially muted to play quiet, spring tension is less, activator lever hits less on programming hill thing, drumstick starts further away. These added together will cause for very drastically different timing. You're absolutely right. Other solutions that will not work due to changes in release timing, suggested in my own head and by others on the stream. Adjustable length of registrating arm, adjustable height of spinning hills on programming drum. So the adjustable height of spinning hills on programming drum is my favorite solution, but I've also been thinking, what would it do to timing? So can I see what's written there under us? No longer same piece of metal as registrator. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to make this yet, but maybe better minds can get there. So I love the humility of pointing out errors, but also acknowledging that you don't have a better solution. I love that humility. Somehow this angle needs to be adjustable only by moving the starting point of the registrating arm. This will keep the starting point of the drumstick fixed and the release point of the registrating arm fixed. Only the tension from the amount of pullback will change. I think this is a brilliant comment. I want to make a note on this comment because this is something I've been thinking about. So in the in the Harry window, or what it's called, with the known knowns and the known unknowns, known knowns and the known unknowns. This is the topic for next stream. We have a couple of known unknowns and dynamic boomsticks, as they're called nowadays. Bad timing. This is like this might be. I'm happy you pointed it out, because this is something that we have to deal with and think about. Next, design. And Lucas Vandal is in the chat. Well, you can compensate for the difference in timing of the different height ramps depending on the way that they are actually manufactured. Great point, Lucas. Let's sketch that. Because since we'll be able to know exactly, so the idea, so here is the exact point. You would think that someone like Lucas, being so smart, have kind of a whole mechanical music instrument museum to derive this kind of deep knowledge from. So here is boom. So, and this is exactly 10 centimeters from a certain point here. So then when we want to make the soft note, the red triangle that is much lower, then we can make this distance 7 centimeter from this point, and this point is the timing point. So we can actually learn the mechanical difference by trial and error, and we can have these triangles, and on this triangle you can kind of say like it will be like a hardness, like maybe it says soft on it, and that soft thing is shorter to offset for the slower hit. Lucas solved it, which means that we can move it from the known unknowns into known already, and we're getting there. Next, design. I'm the one who press marble gate. Let's have some water and let's enjoy, everyone. Sending in a fantastic level of... I said to Hannes before the stream, the audience who are here now, it's like really the hardcore interested people. We don't receive a single bad suggestion. Like every suggestion has been interesting so far, which is kind of crazy.
The level of brilliance in this community is insane. You're terrific, everyone who's tuning in here. And as I said earlier, a lot of new folks are joining the chat today, and that's really fun to see you here. So don't forget to subscribe.
Awesome.
And like this video. It helps us be more visible.
Hannes Sir 3K has a subscribe upgrade, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. Marblegate, Dexter. So this, when you open this, more than one marble will fall down and be loaded. But the Pac-Man gate, which is a little bit what you have designed here, is actually in an interesting solution again. I've also been talking over email with my favorite Swedish artist, Jan Kardell, about this, who is an amazing mechanical instrument builder. So you're onto something, but this very version would... you have only drawn one marble on the top, but I think when you open this gate, you will have 4 marbles loading at the same time. I am like me. No bad suggestions? Hold my tea. Dual channel clock escapement gate. 2 dropper wheels on the same escapement. Okay, I've seen this several times actually, or 2 times now, from Enoch Daniels. The reason we have only 8 marbles is that Rosero figured out that leaves the marble dropping to be the most secure because of the angular rotation. On this wheel, every marble will just rotate a little bit to be dropped. And as the sign on our wall here says, what would Rosero do? So we should not mess with perfection. So Enoch, thank you, but Rosero have made it otherwise. Bebo Champ, Mark Rober just did a video about an automatic piano. I saw it actually. That does a beautiful breakdown of the function of a piano hammer. I think it would be worth watching that part. It starts at timestamp 142. Mark Roberts' videos are amazingly well made. I saw the video actually. And I also thought that that video was a great demonstration of how boring it is with solenoids. So, I mean, the piano was super impressive, but just putting solenoids, it's just a one-trick pony, I feel, and you get bored of it very fast. But it was beautiful, 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 and very quick. 2 gates dropping on the same key to avoid doubling keys. You don't drop in the center anyways. Always open gate 1 first, fall slower than gate 2. Ball 2 cannot catch up and collide with ball 1.
And mad props for your photo editing software here.
Yeah, is it Paint?
Paint or early Photoshop? I don't know.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. From Induni. This is basically exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to do that. Inverted belt drive for marble gate from timing wheel. Inverted belt drive for marble gate from timing. By Jared. So I think this is an extra part. We do. Yeah, I think it just adds too many new parts. By Kevin Anand. In Marblegate redesign, note being played, note not needed. When used in the bridge, it's halfway to prevent any further marble to fall. Then when a note of the programming wheel, it pushes the bridge into place. So this looks like... This is very much what we had on the first gate on the machine. Oh, can I read the text? When not used, the bridge is halfway to prevent any... no, it pushes the bridge in place. This lets the marble fall, and then when it's not... When the note is finished or not needed, it moves back to the halfway point. Yeah, it looks like the gates that I had on the Marble Machine X. It's actually the gates that are on this image. If we go to my CAD, these are actually the gates, and as you can see, gates not reliable. So the clock escapement gate or the Pac-Man gate are superior in almost every sense, I think. Marble gate placement idea. Could it be possible to mount the marble gates below the arc of the Vibraphone marbles? No need for a giant drum if you do not need to have one. Yeah, perhaps it's a lot of... If we make the machine very high, this is possible. And I just think that this is to put them on the side of each other so we don't have this problem at all. It just seems to me just to be like... Do you see what I mean?
Oh, yes. Yes, please. Can we get to that zone?
Everything convoluted on top of each other is causing us so much headache.
The Havoc machine.
If you rotate... Oh, we saw this one before. This one we checked before.
Oh.
Love it. Drop caught by fabric funnel, Vibraphone backup. Drop caught by fabric funnel. This is basically exactly how I've been imagining. And I think this is going to be so ugly, except if we make it circular. Then it would look like a beautiful ballerina skirt almost. Or like an upside down mushroom. So this is how an idea should be presented. Like I wish I could sketch this clearly. This just tells exactly, this is a brilliant idea. If we would want to do, this turns around everything that I thought of. I had all the time turned around. It's a great idea if we want to make the convoluted thing. Where's the resonator pipes though? So that's the thing, like here it looks great. But what's missing? The resonators are missing, and they would make just everything impossible. So, good idea, but I don't think it's working.
Now this is a viable one.
So this one, I saw this one behind the stream, and I don't know if this is low key the worst, like, what is it called?
It's a troll, right? Trolling.
This is the this is the best trolling.
Yeah.
And a little teasing of what we're trying to do here.
But I love it. 100%.
So marbles go inside submarine. String is released, causing the submarine to float to the top. Marbles are released at the top. Tank is filled with water. String pulls submarine down. Yeah, I know that MIDI keyboard is better. The case for constant drop height, but it was fun though. The case for constant drop height.
Well, let me just fix it so it looks even better. There we go.
Oh. Brilliant. Oh, we didn't give credit on the last image.
Sadly, no credit.
Yeah, Paul Pingas.
Paul Pingas.
The case for constant drop height by Rare Earth. So these are some mathematics to prove that if we don't have constant drop height, and if we make modules, what can we have? Constant drop height. So I think someone has done a lot of thinking here. So let me drink some water and actually really go through this and try to understand. Because these graphs, these formulas, what is it called?
Mathematical
functions,
formulas.
It's fun that the cartoons of us
are smart.
Hey, the smart people are back. We know what it's called. It was the cartoons who didn't know what this is called. It's called equations, okay?
Yeah. And I just want to once again here with all the talk about the piano hammer. Kevin Mullart, I concur with B-Boot Champ. Not the solenoids, the design of the piano hammer as an inspiration for a drumstick seems like a good idea. And then other people in chat is also like plus one on this idea. Like, check out how the piano hammer works.
Yeah, the piano hammer has a very cool reset function. So I've been repairing piano hammers on my own pianos, but I haven't thought about it for a long time, so definitely a good idea. So thanks for pointing me to it. Here we go. The case for constant drop height. Drum rotation is constant at each tempo. Pins have a linear velocity. Relationship between when pins trigger is linear with distance. And then some Egyptian hieroglyphs down there, which I don't read. We can call like a hieroglyph expert, perhaps. I've seen them in these tomb documentaries. Marble starts at rest. Acceleration from force of gravity is constant. Time between marble release and hit has exponential relationship with distance. I'm gonna try to wrap my head around this. Gravity, G, 9.8 meter per second squared. Drop distance by D drop. Hit velocity. This is so cool because I think this is actually like, because by intuition I made the constant drop height on the Marble Machine X because I knew Rare Earth is the GOAT, son of astronaut. Oh, so
is that true?
Is Rare Earth like a YouTube channel or something?
Please chat.
Because I kind of recognized the Rare Earth. Maybe you can find it out, Sir 3K.
Chat will tell me.
Because I did recognize the name. And can we go back to our cartoons? Oh, there was nothing
behind there.
Conclusions. If instruments are at different heights between dropper and impact, the distance between pins must be adjusted. But you already know that. Adjusted pins will only have perfect timing at one tempo because the pins are set for a linear displacement to adjust an exponential time and drop distance relation. If every drop is the same height, then it doesn't matter how much time the marble spends in the air. It is better for timing to adjust the dropper heights, small adjustments to get a constant drop distance, rather than moving the registrator like you currently plan. Love this this lesson, and I feel I shouldn't have skipped so much math in school. I want to stay a little bit at this because I think this is very important. We should definitely go to the design requirement documents to talk about this.
Rare Earth is a great channel, but no math involved.
Yeah, I kind of... Can you pull the channel up, Hannes? Because I think I've seen something. So
let's see. Rare Earth comments also. No, I'm not that Hadfield Rare Earth, but I'm still cool.
Okay. Oh, Rare Earth, you're here. So fun that you're here. Thank you so much for your wonderful lesson and your wonderful, like, it was like a mathematical proof. So this is where this gets super, super fun. It's almost like a mathematical proof on why a design requirement should be in the design requirement document. So I'm going to just improvise here, impromptu. Marble drop height. And registrator timing. As proved, we have to rewrite this by Rare Earth. Similar, same drop height is best for timing. Blah blah blah. Never mind my bad language right now. So
Elia G. The easiest solution is clearly to adjust gravity depending on each song's tempo.
So I would like to add like drop time. So for example, if we introduce a little curve to delay the drop time, and if that curve is constant, so if we drop one marble from high, unobstructed, we drop one marble from low with a little curve and make sure that that curve adds a delay so they always have the same time. So I would say actually that drop time is the important part, equals the time it takes for a marble to fall from release to hit. So for the machine to play tight in different tempos, drop time must be constant. So the design requirement should be this. Marble drop time must be constant. And this will be another reason for the modular design. Because I did do it on the Marble Machine X because everything is right next to it. So to the second point of Rare Earth, can we go back a little quick?
We can.
That it's better to adjust the tempo in the marble drop height is interesting. Small adjustments to get a constant drop distance. So this is kind of my small improvement on your thesis here, Rare Earth, is that it's actually the drop time that is the thing. So, but maybe you took for granted what I've said, that I would have everything in free fall, and then drop distance and drop time is the same thing. And I was thinking about skipping height control this time around, because I wanted to make, that was a super annoying part of Marmachine X. But now you make me think, and if we go back to the design requirement, because I still think that we definitely, registrators must be adjustable. Because what I realized, and you need something to equalize the timing for the drum machine. Yes, from Mr. Gonznator, like timing clutch. So on the Marmachine X, when I switched 4 centimeters in drop height, I didn't see a difference in Logic Pro on the recording. It was like, it was so little time difference, so I could almost not record the difference. So maybe in the best of worlds, we have both adjustable registrators and adjustable drop height. And in all honesty, I never got really to trying different tempos. So before, in my mind, I said I'm gonna skip the design requirement to have the drop height adjustable because it's annoying. But after I'm seeing your papers, I think I'm gonna put in registrators must be adjustable, drop height must be adjustable, or drop time. Are you trying to wake me up?
No, I just want to say that we got a little nice support here from Isaac. So thank you very much.
Fantastic.
You beautiful human being.
And thanks for this thesis. Let's go back. I've belated the point enough already.
I can have a second one here. Yes.
This was wonderful, Rare Earth. Thank you. Here we go. Single axle with cam lobes that are 180 degrees opposite would allow you to simply rotate it 180 to engage one side to the other. Can you remove us?
There's nothing.
Team camshaft. Yeah. So simply rotate it 180. Yeah. So I think this is a question of taste in how much travel we want of the Bowden cable. It might be that we want as much as possible to better hit the perfect peak, because it's about the resolution. Because if we only have like 10 degrees, maybe it's super hard for me to hit with a lever as a fine adjustment. Maybe it's easier if we rotate exactly 180 degrees. And maybe we can also make the camshaft so if we do 170, it's still correct. If we do 290, it's still okay. So resiliency in the angle, so it's not so sensitive and still make it work. I think it's a good idea. Next, design. AB programs and muting. Pink axle inside holes, green one. So this controlling AB channels and muting would be done by 2 levers rotating the pink and green axles at the side of the machine. This is the pipe solutions, and with 6 or 7 individual instrument groups, things are starting to get too complicated. But thank you, Alienator. Muting and track changing. Registrators are always engaged, only the connection to the gate is cut off. This mechanism was in the other old machine. Each track has 2 registrators for changing the music. Inu Joshua, shoof. Gretzky of engineer, skating where the puck is going. This is exactly the solution that we have come out with, and you reached there independently. I'm super impressed. This is the solution that works. Well done.
There's more from Inuyasha.
While unmuting the gate, connection comes down but does not transfer movement. Yeah, this is the same solution.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed that you got it. Muting and track choosing. It's the same. And here we have more camshaft things with the AB state that we have now excluded. But thanks for the sketch. And here we have a Bowden cable lever, I think, by overdubbed. This is how the cable goes back and forth. Square bar with identical cam profile stacked and rotated depending on what channel it corresponds to. Love it. Easy to manufacture. And it's from a Swedish person, I think, because you can see on the box there's some Swedish there. So thanks from a fellow Swede. Add a fourth shaft that will allow you to quickly move from green to both and red to both. So the both state has been cancelled. We don't need the green parts here in the picture, but good idea if we need the state.
Oh, it's a video, I think.
Okay, let's see the video. I love when people are using Lego. What? Beautiful. Also, this is the train thing. Wow, cool. It's the master lever thing. I love the straightforward examples.
You have an image immediately after.
Thanks so much for that.
There you have
Yeah, master lever levers. Beautiful demo. Thank you so much, whoever it was from. Channel 1 playing, both channels muted. Channel 2 playing. How is this? Channel 1 playing. Oh, they cross each other. That needs 2 pivots. More complicated, I think. Did we see this before? No. Use D10 to give feedback on the rotation. Yes, that's the ball. That's to make the lever stay in the correct position. To determine the muting state of what is playing, use a machine rod that is shaped such that its rotation determines whether B is muted. Yes. So I think this is spot on. This is what we're gonna do. Other. Nice timing there of the sound. You saw it in the next slide, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I cheated. Go back one.
Beautiful.
Look at this.
Yeah, so this is brilliant. This is a template that Alfonso Samano made. So if you suggest, you can take a screenshot of this and just use this. Because, of course, we are obscuring this area.
Yeah, these annoying people are like always obscuring in the...
So, Alfonso Samano, great idea.
Speaking of great ideas, in the spirit of no bad ideas.
MM3 Junior, detachable row of MM3 Junior registrators, Bowden cables to another... But this is the module idea, actually. Yeah. So, Alfonso... I'm actually contemplating using this very idea, so absolutely no bad ideas. I think what Alfonso is meaning here is that you can read the programming wheel at many times, at many points, and send the information through Bowden cable to whatever you want to control. Oh, hi Martin, get one of these for controlling your view in CAD. Spend 20 minutes to get used to it and you'll never go back to using your mouse to pan around ever again. Best tool for CAD ever. Suggestion, Hjalte from DK. I have the one on the right, the Space Mouse Compact. So my question, and I tried to get used to it and I couldn't.
I can't get you to use a magic mouse, so how is this gonna work?
But I do have problem with tendonitis in my right elbow. Me and Matthias Wandel have that in common. And the only thing working is actually lifting weights. And so I'm thinking maybe this could help me. But my question to you, Hjalte, is, are the more fancy models better? Is it because I bought the cheapest, simplest one that I didn't see the reason? Do I need to go for the Starship Space Mouse Enterprise there on the left? Thank you for a great suggestion. Program installer from Alfonso. I think we saw this. Roll over drum. This is a little bit too complicated, Alfonso. I think the wheels are better. This one we saw as well.
In another stream, yes.
In another stream. It's a brilliant idea for tuning resonators. At the moment, we're not tuning resonators. But for example, if we want to make the 11-note module and we don't want one resonator per note, this would be a solution. Love this idea by AMR, Arfa, and Steel Stalker who made the CAD. Gussets. So don't waste gusset here. Already stiff because of triangle. Oh, this is a good point. Put gussets where they're needed, basically. So that's a really good point. Dear Martin and team, I'm glad that you're now using some validated tools for decision making and analysis. Another great resource similar to the one you linked in this week's summary vid is, and then a link. It's a handbook from an organization similar to the ASQ that lists easy to use tools for different times during a process improvement journey. The photo below is from my own pocket-sized version and shows how the tool's broken down by topic or possible use. You can order a large size too. I've used these tools in the past to train process improvement teams. Wow, this sounds so nerdy. To train process improvement teams. In a large engineering company with great success. Oh, I pressed something.
You really pressed something. Let me help you.
Sorry, everyone. Yes, thank you. We also sent our teams to a global competition for such teams, and my teams who used these tools and handbook were judged best in the world. Not once, but twice. Not bragging, trying to encourage your continued use of the tools, smiley face. Cheers and best wishes from me here in Australia, Dallas. Former YouTube member. Thank you so much. This is so interesting. Like, I love to learn new stuff, and my challenge in this project is to just use the tools enough, but not making them separate rabbit holes. So to just inform myself on like how to avoid the worst practices, but definitely going to. Can you maybe pull that link up? goalqpc.com.
Not at the moment, no, sadly. Okay. Not when we're running this slideshow.
Okay. So thank you, Dallas, so much. We'll definitely look more into it. Fishtail is suggesting a testing ideas folder to the Dropbox. Here we can add ideas for. At the point you decide that the CAD file does represent a viable MAR machine that you want to build, you should add a testing ideas folder to the Dropbox. Here we can add ideas for what to test. The whole community might be able to come up with tests to uncover unforeseen issues. Some of us are really skilled at finding failure conditions.
Yahoo!
In this case, Fishtail took a picture from my explanation why the MAR machine X didn't work. In this case, we might have suggested what happens when the tube fills up and cannot accept more marbles by Fishtail. This is Gretzky skating where the puck is going. I think I have different chapters of this project, and right now we're in the thinking about if we should do the project or not, and I'm going to try to make a CAD file to make this decision if I should build a MAR machine 3 or if I should actually, if it's not worth pursuing at all. So once we have a CAD file with everyone can know, I would love to do this kind of thing, because I think this is going to be so cool to put it out to all of you who can see the issues in the CAD that I don't see. It's what makes me think that we can make a CAD design that will be manufactured and work first try. So I love this suggestion by Fishtail. It's going to happen if we're deciding to make the machine. Modular MM3 by Mr. Burns. Vibe Drum Franken MM3. Love it. This is very, very practical. This is basically, I think, the best solution right now. A lot of programming drums will be needed, though. You don't need a lower drum on the Vibraphone. You only need one, and maybe only one on the drums. So maybe you can remove two of these drums and control the drums from the left top drum. It's actually an idea this is actually a sketch to remember. This is kind of form from function, I think, Hannes.
Yeah.
To make marbles more visible, use fluorescent paint. Kind of cool idea. Maybe it would work. Maybe the tolerances won't be so problem. And if we use these wooden marbles, they would take the paint really well as well. Marble Machine Touring version designed to be played with the band. The machine plays a MIDI vibraphone. Drums and bass can be played by the other band members. So Kersentart has really gone the what if we made this simple. MIDI vibraphone though. So in a way, Kersentart is into the modular thinking. So what's interesting with the comment we had before that if we make it modular, we can mix and match kind of instead of the all-in-one. And this is kind of, you have a vibraphone module. Although the MIDI vibraphone, it's like, oh, it doesn't feel right for me. It feels like then we can use a MIDI keyboard with a vibraphone sound. But I love the modular thinking here.
Oh, wow. How did this slide manage to get on air? I don't know.
Everyone knows that the best way is to have Sir 3K just spitting out the marbles at the correct place. And it also says Skål on the front.
Wahoo!
Marble pass as previously. Let's see. This is a beautiful sketch. Can we remove
we
ourselves?
can.
Splitters and mergers caused issues and added complexity. Lift limit notes count, marbles hard to catch. One lift per gate. No splitting merging. Reduce the height to the minimum to play the note. Pros: increased reliability, high marble throughput, compactness. So my take on streamlining design and removing parts. Bonus cool points for you if you can make a one-plate gate and lift assembly. One-plate gate and lift assembly. So the idea is to have isolated loops, which means that the bass notes only go into the bass marble lift and the bass marble gate. So you have isolated ecosystems. Snare marbles goes to the snare. Only problem with this is that you have to catch them accurately. If I play this note, it cannot be catched by this funnel, which is next to it. So my idea for the Marble Machine 3 is to only have one large funnel, and then we need the marble gates. But on the project that we've been working on during the break, the Marble Machine Maker Kit, we tried to have isolated loops, and it worked really good. So it's a good idea, but it takes... The lifting system will be much larger, and the capturing system needs to be completely exact. We have to catch each marble into its specified marble funnel. That's difficult.
I just want to say here, Doro doing the Lord's work here. When people understandably questions why the MMX was not pursued anymore, Doro pointed that those people to this link. Please have a look at wintergatan.net pages and MMX. There you find the explanation why the MMX was not ready for performance. Great job, Doro.
Thank you so much, Doro. And at Kvijung, we really understand that people are wondering. So I made that picture exactly for you. And so go there and you'll see the explanation.
Yeah, some of all the problems. That's not all.
No,
not those who fitted in one picture.
So here's a suggestion for a mini camera for video, and here is a suggestion to use a relativity space to make a organically created. It's from Magnus Sørensen again, who had another suggestion earlier, I think. So these are space grade metal 3D printer, probably super cool, but very, very custom and a little bit nervous about
probably really cheap as well.
Repairability and maybe a little bit expensive, but metal 3D printing is the future, guaranteed. Maybe a bit too ambitious, but maybe a solution to avoid marble collision. So the same idea as a lot of people have. And Matt M, credit for like showing all the marble lanes and stuff like that. So I just don't like this. I don't like to have this it feels like people with masks on during Corona. It feels like we're just muffling the whole instrument with these walls. And I'd rather play a MIDI keyboard.
What if it was see-through plexiglass?
Yeah, it's plexiglass.
Huh?
So it's a great idea, but I just feel like it's again this whole convoluted. Everything is on top of everything, and we can't be free. Making the marble gates for this will be super difficult. I love this suggestion, but it reminds me of why this is so tricky. The all-in-one machine idea. Same suggestion. Bluggost. It might not have functioned as expected, but Martin definitely made a piece of art with MMX. Thank you for that. Nice comment.
It's easy to forget that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
You were in the deep with that machine. You didn't see it from the outside as some of us did. Okay.
No. Yeah. I've seen people react to it when they come into the room. They are like silent for 5 minutes, so it has a big impact. This is cool. Drivetrain under the floor. This is a real steampunk, old factory kind of solution. Under platform marble collection area. 90-degree power transfer case. Oh yeah, that's how it can be done. Foot pump, control levers, foot pump drum zone, bass controls, xylophone. So Mike Rathbone. Hi guys, sorry for the crude artwork. Your artwork is beautiful. I have one big criticism though. Xylophone. We're not playing xylophone, we're playing vibraphone. What was the name again? I missed it because we're over it now.
Mike Rathbone.
Yeah. Love this sketch, Mike. So thanks so much for sending it. And I mean, talk about visionary thinking. And so the shaft that connects all the machines, you could actually have it above in the air as well. Super, super cool. And Ralph is here yet again with this wonderful modular thing. Okay, everyone. We are going to a smaller problem, but one of the most inflammatory. The flame and the fire that have been thrown at each other in this discussion, and we start with something inflammatory right away. So Damien Villa has made a beautiful presentation of this totally overkill programming pin. Instead of removable pins, use integrated pins with latching mechanisms like a retractable pen. And the reason this doesn't work is that we need 50,000 instances on the programming wheel.
The concept is brilliant, but it will be way too hard, right?
Yeah, there's just too many. They can't fit physically on the machine. And 50,000 of them, etc., etc.
There's a video.
So this video is when we had to switch the programming pins over. And I'm going to shout out where the half hit would have occurred. Because right now it was changing. You can't change whenever you want to with this design. So our new design is more resilient. And programming wheel ideas. So this is a slot-in idea. We're not going for this anymore because we are having it removable. And paper roll, we're not going to use. Beautiful sketch though. Marble machine MIDI interfaces from Michael. With programming wheel requiring cutting to program it, it is harder to experiment. Oh no, that's not true. So when we do cutting, we can put a pin anywhere. So the cutting is just template. It's a white sheet, so you can make any kind of music. And so there will be. So here's also suggesting solenoids, and I want to do the world's best sounding, best playing mechanical instrument that has ever been created.
Seems easy enough. Here we go.
Mechanical means no electronics, so that goes away. But thank you for the beautiful sketch.
And this is beautiful.
So this is still the removable programming wheel, or is it moving sideways? Programming wheel can put on a shaft from one side without getting the belt. Same can be done for the drum wheel. Yeah, so this is the old. We've moved forward from this. We're actually removing the gear with the programming wheel. And here's a cool kind of thing. Programming sheet. So we're not doing... Oh, well, this is great. So this is a template made from a durable material like Tyvek and printable on a large format printer to aid in programming songs. The sheet is relatively inexpensive and you can have multiple copies in case one is damaged, lost, or given as a souvenir. Sheet registration feature on drum. So this is from Robert Thompson, Fort Collins, Colorado. There's going to be a South Park concert in Colorado. Sir 3K just informed me, with the band playing the South Park theme song.
Yeah.
So if you're in Colorado, maybe check that out.
I think it was in Colorado. It should be.
This is exactly how I'm thinking that we should use. So this is just for the programmers to know where to put a pin in. The sheet can be automatically generated with software from a MIDI stream. Manufacturing requires cutting each hole. So what I think is that you can actually make this on the CNC machine with a rotary feeder. We saw this before. Stephen Clark from Switzerland. Programmable elements. So these are the Dragon Slayer plates. I don't want to do them again.
Programmable elements, so not the entire thing, right?
Yes, these are the four these are the four sections. Maybe with the rotary CNC machine, maybe I shouldn't be too quick to judge this idea away, because of course it would mean, let me go and open this.
Heyo.
Here we go. There we go. So with something like this, I think these sections that you're suggesting can be made much more accurate than the sections I was struggling with. So, and then they could also be made for the loop wheel. So if you're just thinking, so we're down to trade-offs again. So if we're just thinking about touring with 4 of these with full structures and gears and everything, and they are huge, or we have the templates, we have the skeletons on the machine, and we're just touring with a whole stack of half moons like this. It is, of course, very efficient, but I am Yoshik Vitimain. No, I recognize your name from one of the suggestions, Yoshik. Cool. No, don't reintroduce the dragon. I feel... that's how I feel spontaneously. The precision I want of this wheel, which we have to be able to snap these on and off, and we can't have holes in the edges between them. I agree. We're gonna have big trucks enough. Rammstein takes fire flames that are like 30 meter high to their concert, and I'm planning to play at least 1/100th of the size of their arenas. Flexible removable programming plate. The Flexo printing uses such a system. Perhaps it is possible to create a flexible programming plate that attaches to the rotating tube, so it would be possible to create several songs on different boards and only change them as needed. Would save a lot of space and speed up the change process. All the best from a Brazilian T. Licre, or Licre. Maybe that kind of clamp could hold the flexible... This is spot on. This is exactly what I want to do. And if there is a process where you can also easily make holes in this flexible sheet, that would be awesome. Project management.
Nothing there, so
Moving on from that section, and the audience is like sighing.
we
relief.
don't need anything from project management on this channel.
Idea for how the registrators move to switch paths. Okay, we do not move the registrators anymore, but thank you so much for the suggestion.
From Jacob.
From Jacob. By Jaden T. Black and white registrators are free to slide. Registrator receiver to bicycle cable. Back of registrators are heavier. Not immediately understanding it from Jaden T. Australia. Registrator. I'm not getting it immediately, and I don't see if it's simpler than what we have. No half hits. So this pivoting we looked at before, we're not going to do that. Cylindrical registrator, internal Acme thread, external Acme thread on lower arm lasso. So this is a way to adjust the timing without having the extra screw. It's kind of interesting. What is an Acme thread actually? Is it a bigger thread? Can we Google that? I can Google it a little quick.
You can Google it. I'm
You can't.
locked in here. You have my keyboard as well.
Yeah, I do. Acme thread. Oh yeah, it's a bigger thread. What does Acme thread stands for? American screw thread.
Oh, there we go.
No,
American.
Wait. Between the it's another kind of threading. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it means that it's more like a machinist thread, I think.
Oh, wait here.
Overdubbed. Rotating the assembly. Oh. I am like me. Got to go, but I think you should tame the dragon and use his psychic abilities to help guide the marbles to the right notes. No bad ideas. Hold my tea. Thank you so much for the support. I am like me. And the wonderful comment, keeping us lighthearted in this process.
Love it.
Like the fun we're having together, like it sounds stupid, but it's so helpful.
It has boosted this project like 200%.
Yes.
That we're actually having a lot of fun.
Yes. Although I'm currently scared for the modular idea.
I'm here to hold your hand. It's gonna be okay.
I'm daunted by this Machine 3.
We will wrestle it down to the ground together.
You can wrestle while I'll watch.
Yeah, drink your coffee, I'll wrestle. Here we go.
Overdubbed is sending in. Rotating the assembly with an offset head could solve your problem with half hits. So this has been solved. Probably super smart solution, but I want to use the one we have. Mechanical paper interface.
Wow, what a sketch though.
Beautiful sketch. Oh yeah, so the support wheel, pivot, spring. Do we have a credit on this one?
Oh, I can't see. No.
Small size, long programming, easy mute, interaction. So this is a cool idea that I haven't. Okay, so yeah, it's worth just explaining for the viewers. When the paper is not strong enough, this is something that I also think has never been done in the history of mechanical music. So the paper is weak, but to help the paper, we have matching holes rotating underneath. So the little lever falls down through a hole in the paper, but is carried forward by the teeth in the programming wheel beneath. And it's this beautiful solution. I've seen it before. I think what would happen though is that all the registrators would slide on the paper, so it would make a big sound at all times, because they had to have some pressure down on the paper to fall down into the holes. But it's a super cool solution. We're not going to use paper, but if we are, something like this could save us. And Cypunk215 teaches us, Acme literally means the highest. It's a common name for various businesses in America. It is also where the coyote buys his devices to kill the roadrunner.
And also their Acme threads are strong to change rotary forces to linear force as seen in a vise from Mr. B. Fox 1775.
Wonderful.
And we have a new chapter.
Timing belts. Maybe you should read out the chapter names. Sir 3K.
Timing belts.
But you have to read them with the sound. Then it's
Give me one more chance then. Timing belts.
In the section of timing belts, this works.
This works. This is gonna be great.
Hang on here. The Moan, engineer galore, Gretzky Hall of Famer, who have come up with so many beautiful suggestions for the Marble Machine X. Thanks for not giving up on us, the Moan. You're always bringing the goodies. Simplicity with gears. Option 1. If the programming drums go opposite of each other, it could be like in the image with 2 gears from the one to the other. Option 2, if the programming drums go the same way, 1 gear in between would fix that. For both, the gears can be bigger, smaller than the drums. Can still use herringbone gears, yes. Gear ratio can still be 1 to 2. Preset timing can still be adjusted with the dividing head design. No belt on timing critical equipment. I'm Martin and honest. The Moan, I have to ask you if you ever hear this. Do you think that belt has less accurate timing than gears? Because I thought that this was impossible because I wanted the loop wheel below to have a 1 to 8 gear ratio from the crank. Now I actually want it to have a 1 to 16, which means that we only need 1 to 4 gear ratio between these 2 drums, which actually could potentially work. So your solution might be viable, is what I'm saying. And I have been thinking about maybe taking back the herringbone plywood gears. So I'm curious why you prefer them over timing belt.
Timing indexing.
For timing indexing, we are seeing a solution from John Lee. Let's see here. This is a beautiful sketch. We have to click ourselves away. What is this? Timing of the machine can be controlled through a series of hypermodal undulative matrices, and any locambulatory feedback is rerouted through the primary polycyclic and catalography shaft, effectively eliminating nearly all perceived relative phase eddies. This can be achieved by using an encabulator device, which uses 6 hydroscopic Marcel vanes and an ambifacient lunar vane shaft to prevent unwanted side fumbling. John Lee, inventor and CEO of over 30 companies. Woo! John, you have to translate this to English for me. So, super cool, John, to see that you are... let's see, there's 1 of 2. Oh yeah, maybe we can come back here into frame. Lunar vane shaft prevents unwanted sign. Vane shaft and moon gears goes in here. Connected to program wheel. Earth gear. So there is rocket science here. Wait. So John, CEO of over 30 companies. I'm only CEO of over 1 company, and I guess I have to learn some new words to
This was impressive, and the sketch is a total beaut, right?
Yeah, that's super cool to have you here, John. It's way over my head, your suggestion. There's too many words that I have to learn. So is it possible to dumb it down? And idea to be perfected. And I'm also curious, like, where all the way original machine. So what I feel with this suggestion is there might be some geniality hidden in here that I'm not grasping at the moment. MM3 timing solution. Level of development. And you get so much into the sketch. So okay, let's see if I can understand this. Wind shaft and move connected to program. Entire assembly goes on programming wheel. Is it kind of a gearbox? Marcel vanes. There's so many words I never heard. But super fun to get your suggestion and wish you good luck with your 30 companies, although I don't think you need it. It sounds like it's going pretty
That
great.
was pretty hard to understand, but something that's easy to understand is that we have the best community in the world. And this is from Mikkel Antila. Martin, the MMX might not work, but the journey was such an inspiration and gave me so many tools for dealing with creative projects. Loving the new format and new journey. Always inspiring. And a heart emoji. And a heart emoji right back at you. Thank you so much for your support. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Mikkel. It's really nice to hear that me trying to do something, even though I'm failing, I have given some value to others. That means everything. So thank you for that. We have an explanation of the sync solution because I asked for it. So the inside thing adjusts the tension and the outside thing adjusts the sync. So thanks for explaining, Pedro. Now I understand this sketch.
People are saying that it was absolutely trolling, that last one.
Trolling here? No, it's 100% a troll post. This is an ancient engineering joke. Yeah, so I think we have 2 trolling jokes today then. Which is we both have the submarine solution and we have this. Turbo accumulator is a joke. Look it up. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I just want to say, from fan here, Hannes, you're the ultimate hype man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so I'm our whoosh on the engineering joke over me. I thought someone made it. Okay, wheels for the machine. Yes, we're gonna have wheels. This is cool though. Wintergatan proposed the Mar Machine 3 frame as a hand track, and these rotocaster wheels provide movement in any direction. This is a pretty cool submission.
They look so badass.
They look badass. So thanks to whoever sent this in. We have from Isaac 1. Unnecessary tall. 2. Not as strong but could use dummy axle. 3. Strongest of all 3 but not too tall. Could be in front or slightly up and used. So it's the back brace there. It's a good suggestion here from Isaac. And we have more casters. People love the casters. Thanks to Kaysen MC for sending these beautiful casters. And here is some...
It's a lift of some sort.
Wow.
That needs to be incorporated.
This is... this is actually very relevant. This is the fact that they're tilting this to get this inside doors. Look at that little hydraulic thing. This is actually maybe super relevant. To have the machine just tiltable, and then the height does not matter anymore.
Oh, ba-boom!
Then it's kind of ba-boom. So if we want to have the all-in one solution, this would be very helpful. More casters, and then we have the Vibraphone.
Vibraphone.
Okay, let's go to the Vibraphone. So these angled plates are problematic because of the rotating shaft underneath. I don't think we can do these angled plates because the vibrato shaft, they have to be on one plane. But thanks for the idea from Anonymous. Vibraphone Hammer Jammer from Alfonso, who sends in a lot of suggestions. Thank you, Alfonso. And I'd rather play the vibraphones with the marbles direct. It feels too convoluted to have the hammers. I am thinking maybe making a machine with no marbles at all and only using mallets. And Sir 3K has baptized that machine to the mallet machine.
Yeah.
What a letdown, everyone. We'll see. Digger me up with the beauty.
Leaving them hanging with that.
Yeah.
Mallet machine.
The mallet machine. So show me, chat. How many are team mallet? Can we make a poll? Marble machine, mallet machine?
No mallet machine. I'm not doing that poll.
Not even a poll?
No.
Just for fun? Just 2 options. What should we make? Marble machine or mallet machine? I'm just curious to see. 2-sided fabric cloth. Big Bart. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. But again, it's like the mouth protection. I was using mouth protection all the time. I'm not against that. YouTube don't cancel my channel. But this feels just like we're covering it up too much. Here's the same ideas that someone else had dropped from behind. It's still this convoluted feeling. It's a beautiful sketch though. This is cool. This is the circular idea. And I have to sketch how big this circle would be. This is the attention grabbing design. So if we want to go viral again, like last time, this is what we're building. But is it form from function? Is the question. So here, moving things to the side from Danny Way. Same idea as others have. Convoluted, but would work, but hard to build. Vibraphone, marble collector. Oh, it's a hammer jammer idea for the vibraphone, same as Alfonso had. And here we'll speed up the registrator, but this idea doesn't speed up the marble release, which is our limiting factor, so it won't make us play faster. But it's a beautiful idea by LS. And here, Gonsonator's vibraphone spiral.
Thing of true beauty.
Thing of true beauty, only how do we put the marble gates for this? I think this would be very difficult to feed with marbles. And this is one of our favorite sketches of all time. The wide MM3 crafted by Ore. Have all the instruments laid out as columns, so no overlapping instruments. That's what I mean with the convolution. And you have the marble lift in the middle there. And I can play the vibraphone manually, and you can have the snare drum on the very far away right, so away from the vibraphone. This is probably the most practical thing we can build. Whoa, look at this. Proudly supporting the MM3 project with useful design ideas since 2022. The organ guy, maybe this was people missing.
Yeah.
Barrel has 44 tracks for the vibraphone, 22 each for track A and B. From the registrator exit only 22 Bowden cables to the vibraphone. The vibraphone has... The gates are orientated in a V formation to allow playing black and white keys without cutting the OTS vibraphone in half. The 22 Bowden cables get attached to marble gates as required per barrel. What? Smaller barrel as not chromatic. All gates remain untouched between barrels. Manual playing on marble gates remain possible for small amount of making changes. This is super interesting, but I don't understand it. So 2 times 37 marble gates. The gates are oriented in a V formation to allow playing black. The OTS over the shelf vibraphone in half. But how? 22 each for track A and track B. I don't understand how 22 Bowden cables can play 37 marble gates. Can play 2 times 37 marble gates. How do you transfer? So my question to you, the organ guy, is how do you control 2 times 37 gates with only 22 cables? That's what I don't understand. But I would love to know if it's possible. It's awesome. Angle the marbles onto the black and white keys in opposite direction with the vibraphone sitting level. This is probably the V idea. You still have the mid-air collision on the way down here, but that means that you just can't play at the same time, which is probably... Yeah, you want that when you play a chord. So in this solution, you wouldn't be able to play a chord like the X-Files at the same time.
And there we have organ guy attached as needed per barrel.
I still don't understand how do you get 22? Nice to see you here, the organ guy, and thank you for your suggestion. How do you 22 active channels? You couple them as needed. So you move the connectors for each song. I'm getting now I'm getting the idea. However, if we have gone through the hard work of actually making 2 times 37 marble gates, I want to be able to play them all in one song. So we're leaving too much potential unused. And by the way, organ guy, thanks for using the upload template.
Brilliant.
Here.
I'm gonna end this poll now. 327 votes, 81% for a marble machine. Okay,
I still have 19% with me on
they're
team.
just trolls.
Team.
I'm ending this now.
You're ending this suffering.
I'm ending this.
Okay, so poll has ended. Mallet machine is not popular. 37 key modified keyboard to play marble machine manually. First set of Bowden cables go to the barrel. Here's a V formation. Secondary set of 37 Bowden cables. Known issue, no fast double notes as only one gate. Yes, I was aware that you were planning on doing the manual solos with actual mallets on the vibraphone, but then you might as well play on another vibraphone, not the one from the marble machine. With my suggestions, you're at least not reaching inside the mechanics, yet still play marbles. So, several suggestions are pointing at should the vibraphone be manual played or not. So let's go to the design requirement document.
Just want the organ guide just filled in there also.
The idea is you do not need all notes in each barrel. Yeah, I see. It's a good point if we need to make the barrels smaller. Definitely. But I think if you only have 22 tracks on the barrel, then I prefer the Mandrakill module with only 22 notes. That's then we don't have to reconnect the Bowden cables. We just plug in the new notes and we plug them straight out for the next song. And maybe we end up having to do something like that. Vibraphone requirements. So the big question is, the vibraphone must be manually playable with mallets and marbles. And this is the question mark. So in my mind, just because I did it in the first video, I haven't thought so much about this. I think... What do you think, Sir 3K?
Marbles?
No. This is...
I see mallets there. Okay.
Yeah. So the question is, in the original music video, I dropped marbles by manually opening the gates.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, playing solo now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to do that with marbles, or can I just play with mallets?
Mallets, if you're soloing.
Yeah, I don't need to do that with marbles.
You don't have to manually open the gates.
No.
No, that's... I was going to say BS. That is BS. Mallets is better, right?
I mean, I could do it on the top of the machine by pushing from the back, but with mallets,
if it introduces problems being able to play the gates manually, then it's a no-go for that.
I'm gonna exclude it for now with mallets. The Vibraphone does not need to be manually playable with marbles. Contrary to previous MMX version, the Vibraphone does not need to be
Annually played.
only one time per year. Manually playable with marbles. Negative design requirements should probably not be in here, but maybe we're gonna do some clarifications if I do this again. I just italic that thing. Okay, next design.
Wow.
22 marble gate tracks on one rod. Shift them to the notes needed as per requirement of the song. Movable marble gates. Yeah, it's the same here. If we have all 37 notes, I want to be able to use them in one song. So if we make a note limitation, I'm going to reduce the number of... Imagine if we do 11 notes, but we put them in a circular pattern. That would also be cool. And if they moved when hit.
This one again?
This beautiful one. Turn the vibe from 90 degrees and just make the machine deeper. Frozen tie. To put it... to put it the other direction. Oh, it's going to be super deep, I think. So this is the same suggestion. A lot of people had the same suggestion. It would work, but it's convoluted again. Easy access to manual play, change between songs, slightly rotated bass to allow marble drops and sideways vibra, gaps to avoid collision. Yeah, this is the 90 degree. We had a sketch like that the other day. So these are good outside the box footprint ideas because this is the biggest known unknown, the footprint of the machine. This is kind of a hybrid between the modular and the all-in-one.
Yep.
That's actually the in-between solution.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that camp a little bit.
You're a little bit there?
Yeah. Why not? We can't exclude if we're able to put some instruments on the sides or anywhere else. I mean, it hurts in the artsy heart, but if it works, it works.
And it would be good for sound because it's far away from the snare drum. A known unknown is the can we pull a Bowden cable that far without having a lot of friction?
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
Marble gate. So this is the same idea with the front catchers by Juan Carbajo. Vibraphone design requirement. You got distracted when measuring this and put wrong value. Easier than what you did. State maximum BPM and note subdivision and calculate from that. For example, a 16 note at, which means 0.4 or 4 per quarter, then 200 per from Jimi. So I think the idea here is that this design requirement is not BPM sensitive. So I think it's easier to just note this requirement is in like 300 milliseconds. So for me, I think this is easier, and I think the answer was 400, but I changed it to 300 just to have some. So I changed it from 400 to 300 in the stream just to have some resiliency and to just give a little bit of a margin. And I think it's easier to note this requirement without stating the BPM. Right there.
Mike Perry just stated my quote earlier there, talking about art. Art? Question mark. This is form from function absolutism.
Yeah, this is what's funny because I realized that maybe I'm not interested in creating something with form from function absolutism. So that's why I'm like, honestly, to everyone here, I'm really not sure I'm going to build this machine. Only if we can find a design that keeps me up at night and that gets me so excited, then I can power through 2 more years of this process. So this is really just an investigation to see if I think this program is feasible. So when I say that we might decide against even doing the project, I'm dead serious. Vibraphone, double and no crossing, no collisions. I don't want to hide half of the vibraphone. This takes a lot of space, but it would work. And in the vibraphone itself, I don't think collisions are bad, because as we said, we can't play this, but we can play this. And if we need, we just take a key to play it. We can't play X-Files here. That was wrong. Let's go. Next design. Rotation on y-axis. Circular chromatic vibraphone on circumference of programming wheel. You know what? This would work with mallets. Oh, this would be beautiful with mallets. It's another...
Shut your mouth.
Oh, but it would work. It's form from function absolutism. Maybe the thing to use marbles is a design requirement.
JME, talking about the BPM there.
Jean-Miguel Exposito, Wintergatan Live. You misunderstand. The actual value you measured was about 200 milliseconds and got distracted and entered 400, which you refined to 300. We have to get to bottom of this. Maybe this is true. I think I have the document close by here. Let's see. I'm going to try to open it first.
Yeah.
Hannes, here we go. Let's dig into this controversy.
It's a big controversy in the marble universe.
So, or was it in... So, it was from this note, 539. So up here, I think my zoom is not going to work. It works too well.
Yeah, a little bit too well.
Wait, if I point it there. So we're at 525 milliseconds on the first note. And I go to the second note and we're at 856. But this is in 181. I'll leave the comment up there.
I didn't do anything.
It went away.
From itself.
No.
Let's see if I can find it.
So someone later told me the actual value measured was about 200 milliseconds. So right now I'm getting 300 milliseconds here between these two repeated notes. And someone told me that the Marble Machine song was actually on 145 BPM. So now, and in 145, we have 400. So yeah, I still don't understand where this confusion stems from. But please correct me on, please explain again what value I measured and how it went wrong. So it looks, I double check now and it's correct. Let's go for the next design in the meantime. Yeah, this is beautiful. Top view, net. This is the same net idea. A lot of people have this. It just feels like convoluted. It's a good idea from Pen Pengulinus. And this is this Altoni push latch. Activate 2 gates with 1 pin. Use ball pen mechanism. So yeah, so I saw this before. I think it's one of Disaltoni's most coolest videos ever. Only question I have is how would you implement it on the machine? Circular vibraphone module ideas. Rotating vibraphone bars inwards allow use for one central funnel. That's pretty awesome. Spiral bar path complicates design but would allow pins to be aligned with marble gates and could use a simple release mechanism. Yoshi V to main. The interval between semi-quavers. I don't know what that means. $60,000. Yeah, so yeah, I don't. 60,000 milliseconds per minute. Okay, so I think you all are like overcomplicating this. I don't still understand here. Often when I talk about timing, we end up in these discussions. Yeah. So please, if you please explain, like with more words, what you mean, because I'm not following. 16th semi-quavers is 16th notches. Yeah. So again, like the thing that I'm checking doesn't matter if it's 16, doesn't matter if it's 8. I'm only measuring in the dimension of time. So yeah, I'm lost on what you mean here.
Let's see if you can unlost him.
Matt S. That's a cool sketch, Matt S. Now that the vibraphone is wider, the horizontal space under the bars can be utilized for the resonator pipes. Matt S. I want to use custom resonators from an off-the-shelf machine, even if we cut it apart. So the resonators are going to be straight. By the way, why not enter that as a design requirement? So let's go over to this design requirement. And let's add that here. Vibraphone resonators are used from off-the-shelf vibraphone, regardless of implementation. Blah, 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 blah.
Fix the first vibraphone, please. The vibraphone.
No, there we go. Okay, next design. Can you switch back?
No, I'm reading.
Ah, sorry. Angled full-size 2-row vibraphone. This is awesome. With the big, yeah.
That's a rock concert right there.
Yeah, we're gonna revisit some of these in the footprint stream that we're planning in the future. This looks like Jean-Michel Jarre, circular keyboard. So Yoshik V to main has a suggestion here. The vibraphone shall be able to play every second semi-quaver. So here, I really appreciate the engagement in this subject, but what I don't understand is why we are discussing the BPM. The only thing we need to discuss is milliseconds. It's my idea. So the BPM it's not needed for this design requirement. Because we have triplets, we have other configurations. Here we go. What is this? Repeatability, you can double the registrator and marble drops. It is nice to have both of you back from Patrick Decky. Nice to hear that from you, Patrick. Programming wheel top view, 4 lines per one channel. And there will be a phase shift delta +1 and marble fall time difference. Yeah, so these are the drop height. Another math person here would be pain to program, but the speed would be doable. Yeah, we need to solve the double marble drops somehow. That's another known unknown for that stream. Thanks for the sketch, Roberto Perez sending Cascade marbles controlled.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it hammers again?
No, are they're like dropping down through pipes and exiting there like.
Yeah, but there it's a hammer jammer. It's with
Is the hammer
it's
jammer?
mallets. I love it. Answer 3K, you.
Next design.
Beautiful sketch, Roberto. The same blanket idea from Thomas K that so many people have, or the protection idea. We went through a similar here. There's too little rotation of this marble drop because Rosero didn't do this, so we can't do it by Tim Schafer. But a lot of people have this idea, but it would give a less stable marble release. So we have the resonator pipes between the two drums, and that was an idea we had in the beginning. I don't think we have to do that anymore, which I'm happy for.
Now take it slow because you're on the last one coming up here.
Okay, is this the last one?
Yeah.
Space enough for the resonator pipes. So, yeah. This is honestly so much fun, everyone. Just want to thank everyone sending in both chats and suggestions. Thank you all for giving these perspectives. The big theme of everything we have seen today is that we're trying to solve a problem that we don't need to have. We're trying to solve that everything is intertwined and on top of each other. We're desperately trying to make the machine we have on the wall behind us. It's time to move on. Perhaps. I don't know.
It's time to make something that works, at least.
It's itching in me when we're trying to solve, when we put everything too close to each other and we're trying to make solutions. It's the Elon Musk video, less dumb design requirements. This is what I was fighting against like constantly on the previous machines. And I think these two machines, the more I'm working on this project, I think it's so hilarious that they look so similar. And I think for the next steps in this process for now, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to allow new DNA to enter this project. I'm going to allow for new things. And it just creeps in me when we have to make strange solutions because people, some parts are sitting too close to each other. So even though we can solve the all-in-one machine, but the reason we want an all-in-one machine is because of DNA and identity. It's not because of function, actually. And here's my point. The Marble Machine X, you saw everything. Everything is in the open. You see every marble being released. You see every marble hitting the instrument. On most of the solutions we've seen today, the marbles are obscured. The release is obscured. Basically, we would have an all-in-one machine where you would see nothing. Then I would prefer, at the moment, I prefer a larger machine where we don't have things on top of each other. But the larger machine is scaring me because I think the programming wheel will be big, the machine will be just big, and I'm kind of daunted by the footprint of the machine. So, yeah. A lot to think of, but eternal gratitude for the fantastic level of suggestions, right?
Yeah, totally brilliant. And you know what? Please do us the honor of moving to step 3 on your list then.
Wait for it, and I'm going to.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, yeah.
And thank you all out there for this beautiful stream. Your awesome company. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for all the super chats. It's one of the only ways to support us these days. It's buying our merch and the super chats. So we're so thankful for that. And take care, everyone out there. And we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.